This is truly the Bitcoin calm before the storm. We are creating the perfect symmetrical triangle right now with a lot of touch points on a high time frame. And while this is happening, we are creating this major double top trap on Bitcoin. We are seeing, of course, the exact same structures like we had last time around. And we do have Bitcoin compared to the M2 global money supply exactly printing that bottom. And right now, about now, it should be officially be bottomed. And then we're going to be going next week in towards this major expansion phase here. So yes, this is of course looking super bullish. And on today's update video, I'm going to be exactly talking about my targets on the imminent short term because Bitcoin is just in the midst of this consolidation phase. I'm going to be talking about when I think altcoins and the entire market is going to be topping out and about what price target that's going to be. I'm obviously going to be talking about Ethereum because it's showing a lot of strength right now here. I'm going to be talking about the next upcoming breakout, about the major ETF flows we're currently getting on the Bitcoin and spot Ethereum ETF right now. I will discuss this and much more, of course, on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap up that like button back above 1000 likes on today's update video. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in it. So yeah, to kick off the video, really what we're looking at right now in the imminent short term for Bitcoin is this major trend line from the top side that is downward sloping trending and the major upward sloping trend line from the lower side, which we also bounced from over 5 times in a row right now. And really in the upcoming period, in let's say the coming week, we are probably expecting this next major breakout to take place here. And of course, a breakout will be a confirmation above the break of the support or the break below the most important support line here. There are in between very important other levels where I'm looking at, and that is of course the middle range here, which previously around acted as resistance, here acted as support. Whenever we broke below it, it was once again showing us we dropped straight away lower from off that point onwards. So yeah, this is going to be also a critical level to be breaking above of. Even though let's say we consolidate till Monday the 9th of June, we break the trend line, we also still need to break above this range high right here, because this is just major horizontal resistance. And really whenever a breakout is going to be taking place here, I will be basically looking at a continuation of the trend here, because right now we are creating a symmetrical triangle. And for the ones that are not very familiar with this pattern, this is a typical continuation pattern, and this pattern gets created, it of course moves towards the downside, and if you then create a symmetrical triangle, it is most likely going to be a continuation of the downward sloping trend like you can see over here. And of course, if you create in a move towards the upside, it is most likely going to be the continuation of the move towards the upside already. So now the expectation is that we are indeed going to be having a bullish breakout, since the trend has been of course already towards the upside for Bitcoin. So things are so far looking still very good for the market, and whenever we break this downward sloping trend, we could be in for a major continuation higher. And of course, I hear you talking, what are the targets then where we are going to be looking at? A reasonable type price target from the breakout, depending when it is going to be happening, is going to be somewhere around 117 towards 118,000 US dollars for Bitcoin. So yeah, that is the exact target whenever we're going to be breaking outside of this region. But while we are still consolidating, we are seeing more and more liquidity being piled up above us, but also right now a little bit below us. So there is liquidity being built on both sides. Well, in fact, funding rates are still negative, which means the majority of the traders are still trading short here. But I want you to understand a bigger perspective, because in my video I made yesterday, of course, I talked about the major double top fake out on Bitcoin and why right now the market is completely different than 2021 here. And of course, if you want to be knowing exactly what I said and why I think it's completely different, make sure to watch that video. But one thing I quickly want to discuss that I also discussed in this video a little bit here, but one thing further on I want to discuss is because both cycles are completely different. And this cycle, we do have the ETF flows, right? So yesterday also, BlackRock bought over $77 million worth of Ethereum. They start to be buying Bitcoin as well once again here. But look at the flows on Ethereum. More and more money is flowing in Ethereum, and this is of course extremely bullish here. Also, Bitcoin ETF yesterday, we had a very positive day with over $375 million getting bought here. So once again, a great day also on the spot Bitcoin ETF here. And for example, guys, you have to understand this. BlackRock right now owns over $4 billion worth of Ethereum. They have been accumulating this in the last year or so, and this is of course ultimately super bullish for the entire market. And if you're also going to be looking at the accumulation accumulation of ETFs for the spot Bitcoin ETF. You can see that they right now own about 1.4 million Bitcoin, but look at the accumulation difference between public companies accumulating Bitcoin, because public companies are accumulating Bitcoin at an even far faster pace here with MicroStrategy, with GameStop, with NetaPlanet. So guys, there is a massive trend currently ongoing with large companies and ETFs buying a lot of Bitcoin, and that is why this cycle is first of all different, and why most likely this is not going to be equaling the top here. So very interesting on how it's going to be topping out here and how it's going to be exactly playing out here. But to be honest, we are currently still seeing very strong flows here, especially on Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. So we're starting to see investors, especially on the more corporate side, lean a little bit more towards Ethereum. Why? Is because maybe they are speculating, but maybe these institutions do know a little bit more than we do. So I personally have been also heavily betting on Ethereum myself here, because I do think we are about to be breaking out of this massive symmetrical triangle. Outside of this massive consolidation phase right here, we're creating this parallel channel, and whenever we're going to be seeing the breakout of the parallel channel, we could be in for a massive treat with probably another mega gold candle on the chart of Ethereum. So personally, I am very excited. I've opened up many trades on that as well here. And guys, if you want to be trading Ethereum yourself or any other coins, guys, you can first of all copy my exact Ethereum strategy using the link below in today's video description. And if you press on the highest link below, guys, sign up an account to Pionex, you will get a free $30 towards $100 instantly up on registration. So if you're interested in that, check it out in the link description of today's video. But Ethereum is starting to coil up once again here. Also, if we're looking at the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin valuation, I don't think we're going to be setting a new all-time high on this pair. But I do think we are in a major consolidation phase and that we are about to create another slight little lower high over here. But I do expect a bigger bounce than we're currently seeing. And I mean, the continuation is here also. And of course, the data is also supporting what I'm saying right here. Why? Is because if we're looking at Bitcoin, we can see that we're right now at that final part of the cycle, but also if we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart, guys, I've discussed this so many times before, but it's because I understand the game, and this is literally what the data has always told us, and this is literally what has always happened. So that is why I'm betting heavily on this strategy. So right now, once again, we can see that we're in the last part of the cycle, but one thing is for certain also in 2017, in the last part of the cycle is where the major gains were realized on altcoins. So I am betting heavily for the coming 3 months to see altcoins perform well, and after that I'm going to be very aggressively scale out of the market. But for now on, it is still okay to be risk on, in my opinion. Then at the same time as well, we are seeing right now exactly, of course, that M2 money supply here, exactly creating that bottom. We have been exactly following the M2 money supply here, and it's continuously to go up and up and up and up. And honestly, I won't be surprised to see this next big continuation anytime happening soon for Bitcoin as well here. So very excited on how this is exactly playing out here. Of course, if we're going to be looking at also all the previous cycles in the last 120 days of the Bitcoin cycle, we have always seen the biggest candles, the biggest gains, and we are right now in that last part of the cycle, the last 120 days here. So yeah, I don't want to hype you up here, but honestly, this is literally the data. Also look at this chart right here. Here you can see also more data providing what I'm exactly telling you, but basically this is one of the worst periods to be actually fading the market right now. And if we're looking also on the daily time frame right now here, Bitcoin is creating on the daily time frame a hidden bullish divergence, and we're just once again in another parabolica. And I do think we're going to be having a similar ending like 2017 this cycle, since most of the people are comparing it to 2021, but probably it's going to be exactly the same like 2017. If you of course want to be knowing more about why I think this is a major trap right now, don't forget to check out my latest video I uploaded yesterday. I went in depth on why I think this is a major fake out and why we are probably still going to be going higher, but not much higher. Make sure to check that video. It's a lot of alpha. But anyways, this was it for me in today's update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap on the like button, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.